All right, guys, let's make some patty pan custard pie. So these are the yellow variety, but they do grow yellow and white. They're also called scallop squash, I've seen. Anyway, these are the two that I've had end of the season. We're gonna make some custard, so we need sugar, cornstarch, salt. I got my little dishes. Cute, aren't they? And in my favorite color too. Got them from Hobby Lobby. So yeah, microwavable as well. We're gonna need some cinnamon. And the recipe called for whole milk, but I'm gonna try it with buttermilk. I think it would just give it a nice, richer flavor. And it called for room temperature eggs, so you know that these are room temperature. As you can see, they are eggs from my chickens. Yes. Look very different from the ones you get in the store, don't they? And they've been washed. Usually you don't wash them. You see how I have them stored here? Well, we just bring them in, put them there, and you can see we don't wash them. Not until it's time to use them. If you wash them, you can't leave them out. So we leave them out. So yes, they're room temperature. And I'm not making my pie crust myself. I'm going to use the Pillsbury pie crust. It comes with two. And I got my handy dandy directions and my bowl with my whisk. So I've already washed them. I've put some oil on it and a little bit of oil in the pan. And I'm going to put them in the oven for a bit and let them soften up. So they'll be soft enough to manipulate and to make into this delicious custard. Now let's see. Ooh, they've browned at the top and at the bottom. Just need to see if they are soft enough. And so here I go with the fork, and yes, they are definitely soft enough. You see how easy that fork goes in there? So we know that it is ready, nice and soft. All right, guys. I let it cool down. Now I'm just going to cut out the center. The patty pan has seeds. So I'm cutting this out now so that I can remove the seeds. See? Look at that. All of those in there. So I'm going to scoop it out. And there are, for these things to be little, there are quite a bit of seeds. But you just got to scoop it out and make sure you get all of them. So that's what I'm doing here. Just making sure I get everything scooped out. We don't want to blend up any seeds in there because that would give it a bitter taste. So I'm checking really well to make sure that the seeds are out. And like I said, there's quite a few seeds. Quite a few. Now, if you wanted to, you could have cut it open prior to cooking it, taken the seeds out, and then baked it like that. And that would be just fine. And then if you wanted to, you could clean the seeds off and salt them down and roast them and have them for a nice snack, which is not a bad idea. This particular time, I just decided to go ahead and bake the whole thing. But either way is fine. You can do it either way. So I'm working on that second one and scooping the seeds out of there. Making sure I get everything out. Because like I said, there's quite a bit. I should have counted them, and usually I do. Just curious. I think it's wonderful when you grow something and then you look at how many seeds you get. Quite a lot. I think one had about 40 seeds. Not, of course, not these, but in the past. So that one's done. Just throwing it in the bowl. I've got to get that one off. And throw that in the bowl. And we're ready to go. So let me clean that up. I'm going to blend it up. So I'm just going to dump it in there. And to make it a lot easier, I'm just going to add a little bit of milk. There we go. Yep. A little bit more. It's about a cup. And I'm going to blend it up really good. And it'll get everything nice and smooth. So you see, that's what it looks like now. And we'll put it in the blender. And I'll show you what it looks like. There you go. That's what it looks like. Nice, pretty yellow lemony color. And the texture, very smooth. Look, y'all see that? Nice and smooth. So now I'm going to take that out, put in the bowl. I had to wipe the bowl out. There was a little bit of water left from when I rinsed the bowl out. Before I mix it, I'm going to add my wet ingredients. So I'm going to add my eggs now. Yep, there's one. That's two. It's nothing like fresh eggs, guys. Nothing like it. So much better when you can just go out in your backyard and get them. All right, so that's done. I'm going to go and dump that, and I'm also going to wash my hands. I always make sure I wash my hands after dealing with the eggs. We're going to whisk them up really quickly there. Very nice. So easily done with the whisk, as opposed to bringing out the mixer or the blender. Didn't need to. Now I'm going to add the milk, all the wet ingredients first. There we go. Like I said, it's just about a cup left because I did use 2 cups. Whisk that nicely together. Yep. There we go. One thing I did forget to mention is I'm going to add vanilla, which I completely forgot to get. And I have a vanilla that I got from a very sweet person. It's the Madagascar vanilla ice. I said ice cream. Vanilla extract. Look at that. And I didn't measure it. I just kind of eyeball it. And you could do the same. Just eyeball it and see what you think, if it's enough. And if it's not, then you just add more. So now I'm going to add the sugar. And like I said, I only had 2, so I cut the recipe basically in half. So this called for a cup of sugar, and I just used a half a cup. It called for 6 eggs. I used 3. And let's see, the cornstarch, I cut everything in half. That was supposed to be 3 tablespoons, and I used a tablespoon and a half. And that will help thicken it up. And that's what you want. You want your custard to be thick, not jiggly. And so that's what the cornstarch does. Thickens it up. So that's all mixing up nicely. You see that? Just kind of show you the texture of that. Now we're going to add the salt. And we didn't need much salt. Get that all in there, all those ingredients mixed in nicely. There was a little bit of cornstarch I saw that I didn't get out, so that's what you saw me add. Now we're going to mix all of that together, just getting it out of the blender there, or the container. And we're going to mix that thoroughly. I'm trying to get every little bit I can, because it was only 2 patty pans after all, so I got to get use much of it as possible. So it just blends so much better when you bake it like that. Some call for shredded patty pan. I did not want to do that because I wasn't sure if it would be soft enough. A little bit of milk was bothering me. I had to get that in there, guys. So next thing we're going to do is add, see that? Look at that. Just wanted y'all to see it. So next thing is the cinnamon. Again, we eyeball it. I know I like a lot of cinnamon, so I basically know how much to use. And I'm making sure as I'm doing this that I'm getting the sides of the bowl. So that is looking good. There we go. Really, really nice. Mixing it thoroughly so that no one gets too much of something, a taste of something they don't really enjoy. Everything is mixed thoroughly. See that? Nice. So you can tell all the cinnamon has been mixed in nicely. All right, we are ready now. You see I got 2 extra of my dishes. I was thinking, hey, I might need more, so I got 4. Now this flour that I'm using, this is, as you see, here we go, wheat flour. If the first ingredient, guys, isn't wheat and it's enriched, maybe you should rethink the type of flour that you're getting. because you don't really want something that's been enriched. So I just put that little flour down, even though I'm using the Pillsbury crust. It just makes it easier to me to work with. It comes in these little packs, and it's very easy. You just clip off the top, slip it out. There you go. And that's what it looks like. You just unroll it. And I tend to unroll it and just set it right there. And sometimes I will use my rolling pin to make it a little bit thinner. But you see, I just put a little bit on top, just smooth it out. This is a good thickness. And I just dust that off. There you go. Put that on top. And I forgot the knife. Let me get a knife. Okay, here we go. And I just kind of cut around it, just estimating. Because you don't want it to be too big. And you just, yeah, see, look at that. You just pull it off so easy. Now, I will say this. That was really too big. As soon as I started putting it in, I knew it was too big. Because we're not going to have crust on top. Just around the top edges. But unlike an apple pie or a peach pie, we don't need to cover it. But I'm going to show you what I do with that leftover pie crust that you see in the dish. So I set that one aside, and I'm pulling out the next one. And if you guys do buy these or decide to use them, just as a note, just FYI, before you're going to use it, take it out and let it sit for a while. It doesn't have to be room temperature, but you don't want it so cold like this one, which is a little bit hard to unroll or to start. The other one was not as bad, but this one took me a little bit. So yeah. Okay. So I'm putting this one in the middle this time. Maybe I can measure it a little bit better, I'm hoping. Now look, that's all the leftover dough that I didn't use. So let me show you what I'm going to do, because I made 2 Pyrex and I have 2 left. So that dough that I didn't use, I'm going to use it now. And nothing goes to waste. So I got my trusty rolling pin. So once I got this to the texture and consistency that I want, because I had to put 2 pieces together, put some on the rolling pin so it doesn't stick, and just gently roll it out, roll it out, roll it out. Doing it like this is so much easier for me personally. Just much easier. So yeah, you can see it is expanding. So it's a good amount that was left from the sides. It's gonna roll it a little bit more and get it thin enough to put in there. I don't want it too thick. I don't really want a thick crust. As I said, since it's not like an apple pie or a peach pie, we are not going to make this really thick. So the thinner I get it, the better. So that is what we're doing now, getting it thin, nice and thin. And I can tell you now, it won't be for both. There'll be some left over, but not enough to put into one of these dishes. So I'll get another one, a third one, which is fine. And whatever's left, we'll do something with it. I'll figure it out, because I definitely don't want to waste it. So just put that in there nicely. There we go. And we're going to move this out the way, bring these in, and then we're going to go ahead and fill them. So as you see, I got 3 made. So that's good enough from those 2 patty pans. I think that's actually pretty good. Now, when you are filling it up, do not fill it all the way to the top, because if you do, it will definitely run over, because it's going to rise up a little bit. So you don't want to fill it all the way to the brim. Just make sure you give it enough space so when it does start cooking, it won't overflow and you'll have a huge mess. Nobody wants that. So we've got that done. Now, this is where I know I need to do a little bit more. Look at all of that. So yeah, here we go. I had to clean that off because I wanted to put them on there. So I'm pressing it down with the fork, just gently. But in retrospect, I actually think I could have kept it. I thought about my, there we go, scissors, cooking scissors. They're not exactly for this, but I just thought it would make it easier. In retrospect, I will not use these scissors. I don't think it was uh, the best decision that I made. Okay, just trying to do the pinch method here. Like I said, I'm not great at that, but hey, you don't become better at something by sitting around saying, I'm not good at it and doing nothing about it. You have to practice. So the only way I can get better is to practice. So here we go. Because I usually do, well, used to buy store-bought pie crust, store-bought pie crust. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I'd like to get back to making a crust and learning how to crimp it and everything myself. So this one, I'm just going to fold up and see. And this way I can see which one is better with each of them. And guys, if you are really good at making pies, put your suggestions down in the comment section below. I don't mind. I welcome your thoughts and ideas. So this one, like I said, I'm trying to just kind of crimp this on the top. We'll see. It's not as easy as it looks. Like, I've looked at a ton of videos, but it's not as easy as it looks. Maybe if it were a typical pie pan, it would be easier, but it is not. So there we go. There go the 3. And I'm going to put them in the oven and let them cook for 20 minutes, 20 to 35 minutes. And then when they're ready, I will leave them in the oven to cool with the door cracked. That was the suggestions. Now this is an extra one I had. I just couldn't waste it. There was more dough and more of the filling, so I just put it in there, into the oven. Boom. And listen, that is it. It's done. We fast forwarded, guys. We'll take them out and see. You see they have cracked. You see what the crust looks like. Not sure exactly why they cracked. I did follow the instructions, and I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I'm curious to see how it tastes. Alright guys, so what I did was I followed the instructions and I had to leave it in the oven to cool off with the oven off. Once I found that it was ready, then I turned the oven off and cracked the oven door for 20-25 minutes, which is what the instructions say. And then after that, put it in the fridge to let it chill. So this is what it looks like. Not pretty, but you know, I don't do a lot of baking, but I'm going to do more. So I'm gonna have to really try to do better with the crust. I should have covered the outside of the crust with some aluminum foil like I normally do, but I forgot. But it's not too bad, not too bad. I am a little disappointed that it cracked. I did everything that I was supposed to do so it wouldn't crack. But hey, it's okay. So let's taste it. First, I'm gonna taste the crust. I really enjoy a good crust. I don't need to taste it because I didn't know what it tastes like. I just wanted to eat it because it tastes good. I like the crust. So yeah, let me see. Mmm. The taste is really good. Like, I do like the way this tastes. Um, hmm, yeah, I really do. This is what it looks like inside. Hmm. To me, it almost tastes like pumpkin pie. I don't know, but it tastes really, really good. I think in the future, what I will do, um, I'm gonna try to let it cool outside the oven. I think that's what I need to do instead of with the cracking it in the door. That's the only thing I could think of. Um, because when you bake it, it's a little jiggly, and you put it in the fridge to kind of firm it up. But anyway, it wasn't a total fail, like I said. Tastes pretty good. It really does. I was surprised. Now I'm wondering, can you do this with zucchini, yellow neck squash? Might have to try it and see. Anyway, I do honestly think I would like it warmer. I'm the kind of person where I really like food warm. I like food warmer than I do colder food. So, and as you see, I got my tea. I drink more hot things than I do cold things. So I'm thinking if this were warm, it would probably taste better to me. But it does not taste bad. It tastes pretty good. So that is the patty pan custard pie. Try it. If you grow your own patty pan, it'll be nice because you can just roll out in your backyard, pick your patty pans, and go ahead and. In any event, that's that. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope if you can try making it. You don't have to use patty pan. Use zucchini. Use the yellow crookneck squash and see how it turns out. I'm gonna probably try it anyway. So listen, whatever you're doing, as I always say, you enjoy it. Gózalo.